As the great Mark Douglas once said, once you put on a trade, anything can happen. No one knows what will happen next. If you want to become a successful trader, you must accept the risk. Every trade carries a certain level of risk. It's essential to determine your risk tolerance and set stop loss levels to protect your capital. Accepting risk means understanding that not all trades will be winners and losses are a natural part of trading. By managing your risk effectively, you will limit your impact of losing trades on your overall portfolio. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI'S.com here with the daily market recap. Please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. More than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time, and finally the 443 gap on spike is closed. And as we can see, trend lines gives us the true support resistance for price action. This red trend line, we drew them a few days back, and they are supporting the lower lows. Now that this gap is filled, let's see if we can get some kind of a bounce. But as long as the SPY is inside this red downtrend channel, short-term downtrend channel, we are in a retracement. Long, in my opinion, only above this area of the 450. Why? Because this area represents crossroads between two trend lines, this red trend line and this white trend line. So for me, in my opinion, 450 price needs to close a weekly close above 450, and then we will be heading towards the 455. QQQ inside day, as we can see. Let's make the inside day. Just helps us to identify inside days. All the blue ones are inside days. Indecision inside day represents indecision in the market. Qs 372 to the upside, 363 to the downside. Inside day, indecision on the Qs. Dow Jones breaking down below the 351. 351 held as a very important level of support. Now broke to the downside. Now this red trend line that goes all the way back to May 2023, 3 months of higher lows. Now let's see if this red trend line will hold together with the 348. Below it, we are heading towards this gap at the 343. IWM breaking below the 190. 187 is next. 187 is the 618 retracement. Swing low, swing high, 618 retracement. If the 187 will fail to hold, we have all the levels to the downside, 184 and 180. Follow price, use levels and trend lines as your guide for future price action. As we can see, uptrend trend line got broken to the downside, so this trend line is not relevant anymore. Let's see where IWM is heading. For now, retracement in full power. Bitcoin, another day, another sideways move. Nothing much on Bitcoin. Ethereum, same thing, nothing much. Still downtrend channel, inside day, 1813 to the downside, 1816 to the upside. Trend lines helps us to identify that we are in a downtrend, short-term downtrend since July. For now, nothing on the cryptos. Crude oil breaking below the red uptrend channel. If we want to see where oil might be heading next, we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and as we can see, Fibonacci gives us the support and resistance for future price action below 80.70. We are heading towards the 77.50. If you like what you see or hear, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends. It takes 1 second. It will be much appreciated. Apple moving sideways, 180 to the upside, 176 to the downside, together with this gap. And in my opinion, this gap must get filled before the next leg up on Apple. Tesla, trend lines from support to resistance. As we can see, we drew these trend lines a few days back. We also have this red trend line to help us to identify the lower highs. Now we can take this trend line and let's see if this trend line helps us to identify some kind of a support. We can clearly see here, but let's clean the chart. We like our charts clean as much as possible. Now, from support to resistance, we have a gap at the 221 over here. And we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. And for now, this red trend line helps us to identify and helps us to understand that Tesla is going towards the 221 gap. Nvidia, after yesterday's bullish day to the upside, now 453 to the upside. Resistance, not surprising. Fibonacci gives us the support and resistance for future price action. And as we can see, we have trend line to help us identify that we are lower highs. Shopify, where Shopify is heading. We can take Fibonacci trend lines, swing low, swing high, and now we can take it also over here. Over here, it all depends on the time frame that you are trading. And as you can see, we took Fibonacci from here to here, gave us trend lines, sliding down on this trend line towards the gap at the 47.90, 48. Until proven otherwise, Shopify is sliding down. We can take also Fibonacci levels, swing low, swing high, and not surprising, 618 is holding. It all depends on how you use and the Fibonacci trend lines, the Fibonacci levels. If you want to learn more about Fibonacci trend lines, Fibonacci levels, and with high probability understand where price might be heading next, check the links in the description below. We have one-on-one live mentorship program, and we have the same program pre-recorded, 6 hours, 49 lessons, both programs guaranteed lifetime access, support, guidance, all Discord channels. We guarantee lifetime access because I am positively sure that this program will transform you to become a better trader, and you will become your own indicator. You will stop following others to tell you what to do, to tell you where to sell, to tell you what to buy. Check the links in the description below and become a successful, profitable trader. Microsoft sliding down on this red trend line. This red trend line we drew a few days back, sliding down towards where? No need to guess. 316 gap. And in my opinion, and of course it's only my opinion, until this gap will not get filled, Microsoft will continue sliding down and move sideways. AMD still inside this range, 106, 107 to the up to the downside, 119, 120 to the upside. Don't play in this range. Don't be a hero. Short below, long above. You want to know where price might be heading next once it will break to the downside or to the upside. Take Fibonacci. Fibonacci will let you know. Above 119, it's going 132. It all depends on the time frame that you're trading. You can take also from here. You can take also from here. Swing low, swing high, and now you have all the levels that you need above 112.60, 116.20, 119. Then look at this. If you know how to use Fibonacci, it gives you all the support to the downside and resistance to the upside that you need. Google trend lines, support, resistance, and as long as we don't have 2 or 3 days closing above this red trend line, Google is still in a retracement towards this purple trend line. If this purple trend line will fail to hold, 123 gap will get filled. Let me know in the comments below what do you think. Where the market, overall market, SPY, Qs, IWM, Apple, Tesla, where are we heading before Q4? Netflix, 427 resistance. This gap needs to get filled at the 409. We also need a touch, in my opinion, a touch on this red line, maybe 2 or 3 dojis off this red line, same as we had here, and then we will get the next leg up. But you also can see we have left shoulder, head, and what looks like the right shoulder. Meta, let's do this in blue, and as we can see, broke below the long-term uptrend channel. Now inside this blue short-term downtrend channel, some kind of retracement. This gap at the 301 got filled a few days back. Now let's see, break above the 312. Why 312? Because it's the crossroads between two trend lines. This trend line that holds as resistance for the lower highs, and this long-term red trend line that held support for the higher lows. So long only above 312. Amazon still below this purple trend line. We can take Fibonacci trend lines. Let's see if Fibonacci trend lines will give us what we need. And we can take it also over here. We can take it also over here. And as we can see, Fibonacci trend lines gives us what we need. We can take also Fibonacci. We can take Fibonacci trend lines from here, the long-term uptrend, and it gives us support, resistance, resistance, support. It all depends on the time frame that you are using. Even though we are on the daily, if you take Fibonacci from July till August, it's not a daily trend, it's a weekly trend. From July 26 to August 4, it's a weekly trend. If you take Fibonacci from July 7 to August 4, it's a monthly trend. It all depends on the trend and on the time frame that you are trading. If we take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, we have a gap at the 130, we have a gap at the 136.15. This gap needs to get filled, otherwise Amazon will continue its sideways move. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget to check the links in the description below for more educational resources. Until the next video, stay safe.